We are talking, sorry, I'm Dave. This is Dave Splains. I had to find my markers. And today we're going to talk about passwords. Believe it or not, the biggest problem that you're going to have with your cybersecurity is probably going to be passwords, because people don't pay attention to their passwords. Another thing is going to be clicking links that they find in text messages or emails, giving out their passwords because they think it's going to be useful, as if we just don't build users. I mean, come on. But biggest problem, passwords. Now, let's talk about a couple of different features that I would like to talk about with passwords. And that is, first off, length. Now, why are we going to talk about length? Length is, you're going to not believe this, but first class in cybersecurity, I learned this. It's a 0. It's got a line through it. And then lowercase g, so capital D, 0, lowercase g, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's 14. This is a 14 character password. And it's insanely easy to remember. I've remembered it for a long time. Please do not use this, but I actually typed this in, and I think it was going to take 3.7 trillion years for a computer to figure this out. Just this simple thing. Length is incredibly important because it's got to check. Okay, is it this? Is it D0G? No. D0G, and then it's got to go through all the possibilities, period? No. It's got to go through all the possibilities, period? No. It's got to keep doing that. Now, you think that that's going to be fast, but you're getting a lot of processing power taken away by the computer trying to do this with other things. So, this is supposed to be like 3.7 trillion, I think. Last time I checked. I didn't check today. I probably should have, but as you can probably guess from the amount of time I've spent actually making videos and producing them and publishing them, I don't always have a lot of time nowadays. So, we have length. Length is very important. And then we're going to talk about characters. Now, characters are important. Everybody sits there and goes, well, why can't I just put in my kid's name? So, Brandon. Great. There's barely any difference in characterization here. You have basically 52 possibilities with this. Only 52. And that's only because of the fact that you added a capital letter. If you had not, it's only 26 possible for each character. So that's where we can throw in special characters, or you can start adding numbers, or you can add capitalization, and so on and so forth. All of this, I mean, and this is based on the English language. Obviously, if you're in another language, there are differences in how long your alphabet is. But for American English, it's 26, 52 if you count the capitals. You get a 0 through 9, which is 10 more. So that's now 62, and then add all the characters, of which I am not even going to bother, because I think that's at least another 52. So you're talking about, what is that, 114? 6 foot plus 5 is 11. different characters that each one of these things could be. So, now that we're talking about that, I am sorry that was blue. That was supposed to be brown, but it wasn't. I'm sorry that this is waving a little bit because it's all, you're going to see it with the light, because the light doesn't technically move. Oh, yeah. Okay, this is on an arm, so it's jiggling a little bit. And the next one is storage. Now, this is the one that I heard most recently. I mean, obviously things change, but this is where you get to get them back. Okay, so let's talk about CSV. In data science, we do these things where we have to store and move data from different things. So like I might build an ETL program that takes data from one location and then builds it into a file so that that file can be loaded up into a model, and that file is usually going to be a .csv file, or it might be a JSON, or it might be XML. It could even be text. It could be any of those. Now, if anybody has gone back and watched any of my programming videos where you actually watch me code, you're actually going to see me build, I believe, a CSV file and a text file. I did not do a JSON file on that build. So what you see is actually what we're talking about right now. And you know, if you followed along with that video, that the computer is doing all the work. The computer is going out, getting data, putting it into a CSV file. And I think even the text is still comma delimited. And all that really means is that you're throwing a comma in here. So let's just, for example, say that we have a computer program out there that is taking up, passwords. It's searching through, getting the username and adding in the passwords. Well, all right, so let's say that we're just on the password list and we're on password. You get where I'm going with this, right? I'm basically just saying password a bunch of times. See, this is comma delimited. All it is value, comma, space, value, comma, space, value, comma, space. And I don't even think that spaces are necessarily required in this. But then you throw in your password. And let's say that you decide to do Happy Christmas. Happy Christmas. All right. And let's say you threw in 2 commas in the middle. And then, so we're going to do password, So basically what you just did is, let's say that this is supposed to match up. So we have a thing of usernames, and this username is supposed to go with this one. This username is supposed to go to here, this name is supposed to go here, and so on and so forth. What you've just done by adding in Happy Christmas is screw up the rest of that list. Everything in the rest of this list is gone now. It can't be used. It can't, at least not where it goes to build a key value pair in some dictionary somewhere. Everything is screwed up after yours. You could add commas in there and there. You could break up, if you're gonna break up the syllables, it would have to be after the T and then after the first P, I suppose. So on and so forth. And it's going to mess with everything. Plus, they're not going to be able to use your password by itself. They're going to have to manually uncouple all of this garbage just to find your password that screwed this up. What happens if a whole bunch of people do this? Completely unusable. So, that is something I wanted to talk about, and I wanted to talk about it now in this whole big world of fear, of cyber warfare, and everything else. So it's basically a public service message of, you know, think about when you're building a password, think about length, think about characters, think about storage, and remember, things like stupid, like this. Don't use this because this is actually in a textbook, but, you know, stupid things like this are impervious, practically anyway. So, yeah. All right. See you in the next one.